Good morning and welcome to the garden, and I'm giving you a fair warning right now. Do not be nice to me. If you're nice to me, I'm just going to be a puddle of tears on the floor. I already have been most of the morning, and it started with the first hug, so hard day. A couple things for you to know. The Social Media 101 class has been postponed, and instead go to the lunch bunch. All that information's in your program, and Dana says this is a really, really good place to go. This is a Sunday I've dreaded since I shared with you last year about this time that I was going to retire at the end of September after we saw 20th birthday. And celebrate we did. And Dana, where are you, Dana? Dana, you and your team did a wonderful job. Thank you. It was a great day. And it's a bittersweet day, too. I'm going to miss you. See, I told you. You've been a part of my life for all these years, and you've enriched my life in so many ways. I'm going to miss you. But it's sweet, too, because you're in good hands. Your future's going to be solid, and I'm looking forward to this new adventure, whatever it's like. You all tell me it's okay, so I'm assuming it will be. But when it came to putting together a message for today, I couldn't do it. I just had the worst time getting started on it and trying to figure out what I wanted to say, because I figured I'd been saying it all this time, and you're probably tired of it and of hearing the whole thing. So I didn't want to keep going on the same, playing the same tune over and over again. And so I just didn't know what to do. I was really stuck. And I thought at one point I could just come out, say good morning, and sit down. But I wasn't going to miss this last opportunity, even though I'm going to probably be a blubbering idiot most of the morning. But I just didn't want to do that. So I didn't know what to do. And Beth came to the rescue. Now, Beth, I want you to know, she's right over there. Beth is a gift, a wonderful gift. Yes. She has that unique combination of creativity, of the big picture, being able to see what all is necessary to go together, and then of the organization it takes to make it happen. And with some support from friends and part of the creative team, she can find videos that work just right with this song or that song, and puts it all in what I call an integrated whole. I don't know if you recognize it or not, but we try to make everything relevant, that it all fits to the message. It sets it up, it finishes the message, it anchors things, and it shares the story, because people get it in all kinds of different ways, and she is really good at that. And when we're talking about behind-the-scenes people, I have to say a special word of thanks to Judy Tolley right back there. I can't believe she sneaked in. Judy and I have been together, I guess, almost 25 years. Isn't that right? Yeah. And she's my right hand, and I'm going to be lost without her. But any of you who have had connections with Judy know how loving she is, how gracious she is, how competent and how conscientious she is. And she's just a wonderful gift to the garden as well. But anyway, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so Beth came to the rescue. She sent me a clip that's like a movie or a documentary about Joseph Campbell that's entitled Finding Joe. And the long and short of it is, it tells some of the wisdom and insights that Campbell shared, and it includes a synopsis of a life's journey. And Campbell refers to it as the hero's journey, and says there are 3 stages to it. Now, the first stage is what is called separation. That means that we leave our comfort zone and we go out into a new place, some place we haven't been before. We don't go with the things that we've always known. We step into uncharted waters, unknown territory. And we have to leave behind the things that have been before. So separation is the very first stage. Take a look. So that's the separation. We have to move from that which we've known, the comfort zone. The next stage, the second stage of this 3-stage process, is called initiation. And what happens during this time period, as Campbell describes it, is we face all kinds of challenges and tests and trials. There are obstacles that we face and have to deal with in one way or the other. And in the process of dealing with whatever obstacles appear, we find out more about ourselves. We uncover some things that we didn't know, and some hidden gifts and talents begin to emerge, and the cycle continues. Let's give it another try. See if we can get it right this time. Where am I? Okay. We've talked about the first two stages of the hero's journey. The first one being separation, and then being initiation. And then there's the last stage of the hero's journey, as Campbell understands it, and that is return, to come back and to share the story. And when we come back and share the story, it inspires other people who then separate out, who initiate something, and who then come back and tell that story, and the cycle keeps going on and on and on. Well, as we know, it's not really the end, because that cycle continues. And I hope you realize not only is that the story of our own lives and the journey that we take, that hero's journey, but it's also the story of the garden. Because when the garden came into being, it was a time ridden with anxiety and difficulty. It was a time of transition and change and loss and grief. And at times it seemed as though we had no idea where we were going or what direction we were. It was as though we were lost in a desert, not having any sense of how to get wherever we thought we might want to go, which we weren't clear on. But so it was very confusing time. And then there was the dream. And then the gift that came as a result of God's dream was the wonderful people who trusted God enough to step out and give this a try, to see what they could do and to see who they could be. And so many gifts. I mean, it just happened organically. Things came into being. One of the greatest gifts we got was the gift of this facility on Sunday mornings. I don't know how we can ever express enough thanks to the Stark family for their generosity in providing this free of charge for 20 years. With the commitment into the future. That's a wonderful, wonderful gift. And with a wonderful ownership of Beef and Boards, we also got a wonderful tech guy, and that's Ed Stockman back there. And I don't know if you notice what a wonderful job he does, but you just notice the lights sometimes and how they reflect the mood of the music and what's happening. That's because he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. And so it really makes a difference. And our services are, I think, so much more meaningful without our being aware of how they are. So that certainly was one of the first gifts that came our way. But then people just kept popping up, some unexpected people, some surprising people. And I'm going to name some names. I know that's always risky. I shouldn't do that because I'm afraid I'll leave somebody out. But I'm going to do it anyway because these are the ones that just stood out to me when I was putting this together. But one of the first people I want to mention is Jolene House. Now, this morning she's up in the tech booth where she's been forever since we started. But Jolene popped up and wanted to be a part of the design team for worship. And I knew Jolene, but I didn't know her that well. But I didn't know is that she loves movies. And she can remember every scene out of every movie she's ever been to. And so when we decided we wanted to use lots of media and to carry the message, to put things together, she could name this scene or this clip that might really work for us. And it really was helpful in creating what came to be the garden and that part of that. So that was a big part of it. And then there was Suzanne Stark, who was our original creative director. Now, she was out of her comfort zone, too, in many ways, because she's an actress. And so here she was in church world, and it's different somehow. And yet she shared wonderful gifts, and we all learned a lot of things in that process, and Suzanne was one of those. One of the things we wanted to do was have visual things going on while the band was playing. So Suzanne would go to the library, rent books, borrow books, bring them, and in her bathroom with the camera would put together videos to go with the music that we were singing. It was pretty rough in those days. Not the quality of what happened, but filming in a bathroom. We were pretty basic at that point. So it made a big difference. And I have to mention the Wileys because Mike and Dana were originals. They They tried out, they auditioned for the band. But I don't think they had any idea they were going to be singing this kind of music in this place for all that time. And we're grateful. We're grateful for all of you. Are there any, let me ask real quickly, those of you who are originals, what I'd call originals, the founding gardeners, first time here the first Sunday, or part of the teams that worked, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Then there was Gary Fortner. I didn't know Gary. I knew his wife Sherry, but I didn't know Gary. And Gary decided he wanted to work in the parking lot greeting people, and he's been there every Sunday for 20 years, except when he's been in the hospital. He's threatening to retire, but we won't let him. And then there were folks who stepped up to kind of create what the hospitality team became. Barb Hale is one of those. Barb's here, I know. Sherry Kochel-Beniger, Jolene, and Sherry Fortner. Those were the four who decided what we needed to do to make this place warm and friendly and inviting. And they're the ones who suggested bagels and donuts and coffee and juice, so you can thank them for that. And they've designed the process that continues to this day. And then there was the technology. We decided, we wanted to be multimedia and lots of visual things, but we were operating on a shoestring, still are for that matter, operating on a shoestring. And so my husband Mike and then some others volunteered to work on a team where they were learning as they went. And for, 4 or 5 years, Ed, they stood there in the booth beside him. That's where it was operated from until it became obvious that we needed a little more elbow room to function. And so, just people just came at the right place, showed up in the right place at the right time. But I think that each one of them would acknowledge, maybe without ever realizing at the time, that they learned some things about themselves in the process of coming together in this initiation phase. Is that they learned that there were within them all kinds of talents and gifts and skills and abilities and interests and passions that maybe had been buried deep within them. And all of a sudden they had a chance to emerge and to learn new things, and in some ways to get a fuller picture of who they were and what it was all about. You see, every single one of us, and I mean every single one of us, has that precious gem within us. We have that nugget of gold, if you will, that we sometimes hide, but it's a gift when it's able to come out. It's like the story of the Golden Buddha, but rather than my trying to tell you, just take a look. Okay, deep breath, huh? The story of the Golden Buddha is really the story of all of us, because deep within every single one of us is that precious gem, that golden nugget that we need to uncover and let out and awaken and let that beauty show through. And that's our life's journey. It's the journey of the garden as well. And I know it's been my journey because I've learned things, I've tried things I never dreamed I ever would, and it's been a wonderful gift. And the best part of it has been knowing all of you and getting to know you and being a part of your lives in some of those precious moments. The weddings, the funerals, the baptisms, the time just spent chatting together has been a gift to me, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you. I'm grateful for our band. These wonderful musicians share their hearts and soul with God's love every week. Thank you. I have no makeup on. I'm sorry. It's done. Sorry. I don't know if you heard that. The comment was not as sorry as we are. I said I was going to be a blubbering idiot today, and I'm fulfilling that promise. Oh dear, what did I just say? Oh, the band. And our tech team up above. They work really with some great limitations in what we're able to do, and they hold it together every single Sunday, and they're so loyal and so good. And of course, Teresa down here on the floor is here almost every Sunday and does this job that's a wonderful gift. And our hospitality team that comes in on Sunday morning and sets everything up so that we can get food there, and then keeps it clean, fulfilled, cleans tables. And then the group that stays, and some of it's hospitality, some of it's just some of you with good hearts who stay around after this service and help ice the glasses and pour waters and clean off the tables and whatever needs to be done so that the doors can open for the guests to come in for the matinee. It's been quite an undertaking that is works like clockwork, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. But we give it all the best try we possibly can, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference in the world. And now we're really at the end of the third stage. We've come back. We've told that story. We've returned. And that story hopefully will inspire other people and will inspire the garden on its next legs of the journey. It's starting a new journey now. Carolyn will be your new pastor, and I know you're in good hands, and it will go well. And it's going to be different, and that's okay. It's time for something like that here. And it's going to be different partly because we're going to become our own church. And that can be a little unnerving and can be a little difficult, and there may be things we have to do or have to learn that we've never had to do before, but we'll get through it. It will be okay. And it will all work out, but it's still scary. I know it's scary for many of you, and it's scary for me because we don't know what the future holds. But what I do know is that whatever we're facing, we don't do it alone. God is with us, and God is with us always. And that's why I chose the Bible passage I did for this morning. In the old days, prophets would be sharing what they believed to be the word of God that they'd heard. And this is from the prophet Jeremiah, who was trying to encourage the people of Israel who had seen their city of Jerusalem destroyed, who had been made captive by the Babylonians, and who were in exile away from their homeland. And Jeremiah heard these words, heard God saying this, and he shared with the people, "I will bless you with a future filled with hope, a future of success, not of suffering. You will turn back to me and ask for help, and I will answer your prayers, and I will be with you." I think that's God's message to you, to the garden, and to me this morning. We don't go alone. God is always with us. It's been a wonderful journey, and I thank you. Safe travels for the new journey.
How about this?
Oh, wow. Well, look at that. Bright yellow.
I must have worn it out. I went too long, didn't I, Ed? We're out of battery. Oh, well, sorry. Sorry to the wait staff, too. Anyway, it's time now to pass the reins of leadership from me as your pastor to Carolyn, who's your new pastor. And I know it's going to be a bright, bright future for all of you. Now, if we were in a traditional church, what I would probably do is take off my stole, which we wear on our robes, that symbolizes ordination, and place it around Carolyn's neck. That would be fitting for her because she comes out of a traditional church. But we're not a traditional church. And we don't wear robes, and we don't wear stoles. So I wanted to find something that would symbolize how we're kind of passing the torch from one leader to the next leader. And it seemed to me that if you think about the garden and you think about gardening, it can get a little messy sometimes, a little difficult. There's wonderful produce product that comes from it, but there's also challenges there. And I wish I had some of these sometimes in the past, but I want to make sure Carolyn has what she needs. And so something that is garden-esque, I think, is going to be my gift to her and to all of you. And it's this pair of gardening boots. It is with great pleasure and great honor that I pass those on to you. I don't pass them on to you. I've never had my foot in them. But I give them to you as a symbol of the new leader that you are to help you get through the time ahead. God bless you, and God bless all of you now and always.
Thank you, Linda. I look forward to whatever it is I'll be stepping in, I'm sure. I was a very young pastor when you, very young, when you planted the garden some 20 years ago. Maybe not that young, but a new pastor. And I remember thinking how innovative and creative and amazing you were then, and how you continue to be. And I don't know if you've heard, but there is this new age called the third generation that has been coined, and that is the third age.
I heard it last service.
You heard it at the last service. And that is, they're saying that people between the ages of 60 and 90 were living longer, healthier lives, and like there's this whole new world that we never experienced before. Isn't it fitting that as this new world is coming into being, we're sending a toddler off to be part of that incredible group of folks? So in preparation for serving as pastor here, I read a book called Planting a Garden by Reverend Dr. Linda McCoy. And what I would like to do, Linda, is get you to start writing the next one so I can follow you into that next generation beautifully. So here is a pen and pencil set, and it just so happens, neither of us knew this, but the scripture text that is shared on this set is the hope text that you shared this morning. So God bless you, my friend, and it's an absolute honor.
Now, check out the screens and see what your new pastor is really like. See what you're in for. Okay, it's time.
Okay.
Have a great, not yet? What are we doing?
Excuse me. Who are you?
We are the Blues Sisters.
All right, I got the orange mic now. We are the Blues Sisters. Honey, you ain't in Kansas anymore. We see here that we have a sister that's blue.
Really blue.
True blue. I see there's not a dry seat in the house. Hit it, fellers. Linda, you ain't going no place, baby. Come on. Freedom, 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 freedom.
We're on a mission from God.
A mission from God. If you're lucky, the chicken mobile will not be out there. Okay, baby, last chance. Say goodbye. Have a great Sunday. Go Colts. Go in peace. Amen.